Hello and welcome to ABC Reading Eggs. My name is Tracy Gallagher and I'll be walking you through the Reading Eggs site. Today we're going to be focusing on adding students onto the system and getting the students up and running in the classroom and at home. Here on the My Account page, I'm going to show you how you can add students to your trial. Here we have to click on the Manage Student button and we go into our Manage Student section. Here we're going to be adding individual students onto the system. However, if we have a large group or a class list that we'd like to add, we could use the Import a List of Students button. But for today's purpose, let's look at adding individual students. Now you can see in the Editing My Students section, we can add a student, have a look at our existing students, edit all our students, or set student passwords. That enables us as the teacher to personalise passwords for individual children. Right now I'm going to show you how to add a student. Now it's very simple to do this. All you have to do is put their name in, and you can see the system will be adding them directly. And then you can just scroll down and there's Annie. You can see her username and password, the teacher she's attached to. You can see her progress to date, and as you can see she's only gone her first lesson of reading and spelling. I as a teacher could download the PDFs to support her in the classroom, or I could edit her details if I needed to change names, etc. This next section I'm going to show you is how to actually access the usernames and passwords for your students in the classroom and at home. You have a couple of options for accessing the passwords and usernames. The first one we suggest is actually the parent letter. You can click on the parent letter here and it will actually publish for you a letter for each individual student with their username and password and directions for the parents on accessing Reading Eggs at home. Here's an example of the parent letter that you can download for your students and parents. You'll like to draw their attention to the existing members side because you'll already have for them the usernames and passwords, and all they need to do is add a child in the parents section, and that way they'll be able to link the home and school subscriptions. The second way that you can access the students' usernames and logins is actually going into the teacher subscription page and going into the Manage Students button. Here you'll be able to print out individual student login details for all your students so that you can have a copy on a PDF file of all their individual passwords and usernames. The third and final way that the students can access Reading Eggs is by the teacher logging on as themselves and accessing Reading Eggs via the Start Reading Eggs button. By clicking here, the students will have access to the My Class page, and they can just click on their name and their icon and get straight into the Reading Eggs world. So all your students are now on the system and they all have their individual usernames and passwords to access Reading Eggs at home. Once students are on the system, they've accessed their Reading Eggs My Class page. You'll be able to see here that we've got lovely Annie Bonnie, who we added to our student list. She has yet to personalise her avatar, and you can see some of the other students have, and she has yet to access any of the Reading Eggs material. So she's brand new to the system and is a junior primary student. So here we're going to click on Annie Bonnie. We're going to take her to her very first page. Now, this is where Annie can actually be placed at the correct level for her reading. So she can do the reading test, or she could not do the reading test, and that will put her on the very first reading map. You choose as the teacher what you'd like them to do. You also, alternatively, have the option of presetting the students at the appropriate reading level, and the details of which are inside your teacher guide. So now you'd like to use Reading Eggs in the classroom. What you need to do is you can actually click on the Start Reading Eggs on your teacher login page. This way teachers are actually logging in on behalf of their students, and each child can then find their name and avatar and start exploring the ABC Reading Eggs independently. Here we have Annie Bonnie on the My Class page. We're actually going to click in and have a look inside her work. She has her very first map here ready to go. I've placed her on a placement test on map 1, and you can see she has access to all of the rest of the activities. A few of these activities are locked, however, and they do become available as the students progress through the system. But now Annie is ready to go. She just clicks on the link here, and she has her very first Reading Eggs lesson. That's all we have time for today, but don't forget, if you're interested in a 4-week free trial of Reading Eggs, please contact the Reading Eggs team on 02 9019 2889 or email readingeggs@3plearning.com.au, and they'll be happy to look after you. Thank you.